All right, so StoneSkiun, which I think we know the name is
Chris, is it?
Yeah, Chris. I think your real name is Chris, right? But I'm not sure. Anyway, StoneSkiun ask a travel question. Where can we find kiwi birds and where is Lord of the Rings village? Please describe scenery for us. I love to take photos. Okay. All right, so that's two questions in one right now. So the Lord of the Ring village, I think there's a lot of nerds which are putting their hair out. It's called Hobbiton, and it's in Matamata. It is about an hour drive from Hamilton and about 2 hour drive south of Auckland, and it is about an hour and a half drive north from Rotorua. It's a very quick pit stop. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Describing the scenery, I mean, if you're asking about the Lord of the Ring location, you probably have seen it, right? So
you saw it on the movies.
Yeah, you saw it. It looks exactly like it looks in the movies. Yeah. It's the movie set itself. So yeah, you go through those beautiful rolling green hills of Hobbiton with those round-shaped doors, and the rest is up to your imagination and your DVD player. Play the movie and you'll see what it looks like. Now the kiwi birds. Let's talk about the kiwi birds, Laura. Where would you find kiwi birds?
Well, there's loads of different ways you can actually see kiwi birds in New Zealand. First of all, you can actually see them in the wild, which is quite difficult to do because they are, first of all, they're not...
I saw one.
Yeah, we have. First of all, they're nocturnal, meaning that they only come out at night. So if you actually want to go searching for kiwi birds, you usually have to go on a night tour or go out at night by yourself. Also, they're very elusive, so they're not going to really walk up to you so much. They're going to they're usually just foraging in the forest, and if they spot you or hear you, they'll probably go scurrying away. So they're actually quite difficult to spot. And for that reason, if you are wanting to go and find kiwi birds in the wild, I personally think it's better to go on a kiwi bird spotting tour, because you'll be going with a guide that actually has the expertise and knows really where to find kiwi birds. And they usually have special torchlights, which are red, and that is not harmful to the bird. Whereas if you're actually trying to search for kiwi birds with, a white torchlight, then that is more likely to scare the bird away, for instance. So places you can find kiwi birds in the wild are in the Northland region, in the Kauri coast, more specifically the Trouncen Kauri Park. There's a lot of kiwi birds over there, and the holiday park in the area runs guided kiwi bird tours, and we'll make sure to link up to the video when we did that in the description below. And we saw 2 kiwi birds on that night, which is really awesome, but we actually didn't get a chance to film it because they were that fast. And we were that unskilled. And yeah, other places you can see them are in Stewart Island. There are a couple of guided walks on Stewart Island where you can go and check them in the wild. Robin and I actually saw a kiwi bird when we were just doing one of the multi-day hikes in Stewart Island. And the good thing about the kiwi birds in Stewart Island is that they're a slightly different breed or species, and that means that they actually are usually up until about 12 p.m. like in the daytime, so there is a chance to see them in the day when you're in Stewart Island as well. Do you want to move on to the next bit?
Yeah, okay, so there is also a lot of conservation areas or conservation park where they actually help kiwi bird reproduce, and then they introduce them in the wild. So there is quite a lot of those around New Zealand, and to name a few, there is one called Kiwi North, which is in the northern region of New Zealand. There is the Whangarei Bird Recovery Centre as well. There is Rainbow Springs as well. There is one in Franz Joseph,
the West Coast Wildlife Centre.
West Coast Wildlife Centre as well. That's Sanctuary Mountain.
Yeah, that's in Cambridge near Hamilton on the North Island.
Yeah, and Otorohanga Kiwi House. Sorry about that. Yeah. Otorohanga Kiwi House. So there is a lot of places where you can go see them in captivity. Now, those kiwi birds in captivity are actually specimen for reproduction. So what they do, they actually put them in this area, and from time to time they bring a female or they bring a male to the female, and they let them reproduce, and then they move them back. And so that help them kind of have a bit of a gene pool around. And it's quite good as a conservation effort, and New Zealand is kind of leading the way in some of the bird conservation effort around the world, which is quite awesome to see.
Yeah.
So it's another great way to learn a lot about about kiwi birds, which is to visit those recovery centers as well, or conservation center as well. So you get plenty of options to see kiwi birds in the wild. You get plenty of options to see kiwi birds in captivity. Now, seeing them in captivity, you're going to get much more luck because they always do feeding time. So you just, when you're about to visit one, you ask when the feeding time is, and you time your tour around the area with the feeding time, and that should be all good. So that is it for where to find kiwi birds in the wild or in New Zealand in general. If you do have any extra questions, put them in the comment below, and I hope this answered your questions, StoneSkiun/Chris. So yeah, like and subscribe as well, guys. Like and subscribe, that's always helpful for us. All right, a lot of things happening in the live chat.